Hey reseller friends, welcome to the latest edition of Seller's Corner, your go-to source for all things reselling. I'm Erynn, product specialist at Vendoo, and today I'm here to talk to you about my Poshmark sales strategy for success. But before I do, let me invite you to subscribe to our channel. We publish content every week, and it's all related to Vendoo product updates, community tips, and information about how to scale and grow your resale business. Poshmark is one of the best places to sell fashion. It's super easy to use, has many different tools and features that allow for self-promotion, and they have the most simplified shipping process available to resellers. But getting started on Poshmark and actually achieving consistent daily sales requires some work on your part and some considerations. First, you will need to establish a pricing strategy. Your pricing strategy should really be based on your ROI, your return on investment. You should set a loose rule to determine the minimum amount that you would like to yield on an item. So an amount or percent based upon your COG, cost of goods. Once you've established approximately how much you want to make for pieces in consideration of your time and resources, the second part is to determine how to price your items. Pricing is a science. You want to price low enough to be enticing, but high enough to account for discounts, deals, bundle discounts, and promotion. In deciding how to price your items for Poshmark, here are 3 methods. All 3 methods are centered around comps or comparables. Comparables refer to an idea of what your item is selling for. To get an idea of what your item is selling for, perform a search right on Poshmark if we're talking about listing items on Poshmark. So for example, you could search a pair of Levi's 711 jeans. You'll definitely want to unfilter my size only, unless of course it's a rare item and you're looking for a specific size. And you might also consider unfiltering the automatic selection of just available so that you can see solds as well. That will give you an idea of what similar items are listed for, both active listings, your immediate competition, and sold listings, a reasonable idea of what items are selling for. Generally, comp research happens first at the thrift store, but it's a good idea to do it periodically, especially on places like Sellhound that pull up comps from all different marketplaces, not just Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Depop, Tradesy, Etsy, and more. I'll link Sellhound's price checker tool below. It's incorporated right into your Vendoo listing form too. Once you've looked at comps, you have to decide what you'll do with that information. I do not think comps are the end-all be-all. Instead, they're just a reference tool. Comps can be incredibly distorted. People oversell and undersell things all the time. And by the way, all of that is subjective because your item is only worth what your buyer will pay for it. Other things can distort comps too. We can't always see the sold date, and styles and trends change over time. We don't always know if an item was part of a bundle or a deal or anything like that. So they're not a holy grail, just a reference tool. Method 1, price way lower than comps. I did this for years successfully. This is good if you're a brand new, inexperienced seller looking to gain some traction and make some sales. Or if you've been selling forever, but you have such a low cost of goods that you can afford to do this. Maybe you source at the bins and you want fast flips. This is the fast nickel instead of the slow dime way of selling. The pro to this method is that you're pricing lower than everyone else. So when a diligent buyer does a search for Levi's 511s and yours are the lowest price, it's highly likely that they will click on and purchase yours. Allowing these fast flips in volume creates a consistent revenue stream, and so long as you're comfortable with your ROI per item, flip and flip and flip. This is a great method for some sellers. Of course, when you price super low like that, you might not be adequately valuing your items or your time. Method 2 is to price consistently with comps, right? It makes sense. This is a very safe method because you're providing a reasonable price in consideration of the market. This is what I think most resellers do. However, if your items are priced right around everyone else's, you have to find other ways to make your listing stand out. Frequent sharing, activity, keywording, better photographs. These are all different ways to attract buyers to your items. Poshmark doesn't really allow us ads, paid ads, or off-site promotion. So when you're talking about Poshmark, the best things you can do is have great photos, great words in your description, because they're all searchable in the search feed, and just share and share and share so your items always appear closer to the top. Remaining active and consistent is the most important thing to most platforms, and Poshmark is no exception. Pricing consistently with comps is a great and reasonable way to yield sales. And number 3 is to price higher, way higher than comps. This is my current method, and I've been working on it for about a year successfully. I price way higher than comps. I cannot sell something for $100 if I didn't list it for $100. However, I could accept a $40 offer all day, and I could consider that if I'm happy with the ROI, making the buyer feel like they got a great deal. When in doubt, I price high. Sure, a savvy buyer will conduct a search and is unlikely to click on your item if all of the other ones yielded are way less expensive. But you know what? Not every buyer is savvy, and I can prove it because I sell things for way higher than comps all the time. But it's not easy. To make consistent sales while charging more than literally everyone else, you have to really step up your game. You have to have super detailed SEO-friendly descriptions. I'll link below my guide to how to do that on Poshmark. And you have to maximize this SEO to rank. That way, your items are showing up on more searches on Poshmark and major search engines, getting more clicks, traction, offers, and exposure. You also have to have, of course, incredible photos and super consistent activity, sharing literally all day. I will link below the guide to SEO. This has really, really helped me to improve my strategy and to make more sales. No matter how you decide to price your items in respect to comps, when you're on Poshmark, keep these things in mind. First, people want deals. Have you seen the Poshmark commercial where they advertise Louboutins for $70 and they're like new? Yeah, that's crazy, but that's what people want when they come to Poshmark. Shopping is super psychological. If you list something for $10, you're going to get offered $9 or even $4 or $5. It's just what happens. It's your prerogative if you wish to have your pricing firm, but I do not recommend it at all. You really want to price like 30% higher than what you would actually yield to allow for discounts, closet clear out days, bundle discounts, and so that you can entertain offers and make buyers happy. This is a really important part of how Poshmark works. Offers are encouraged. Most sellers have signs all over their closet encouraging that, so you will receive them. Second, consider removing the automatic bundle discount that you might already have. You might have in your Posh settings an automatic discount where when people add more than one item, a discount is automatically applied. People will not see this, recognize it, and say, oh sweet, and then check out the way that you think they would. They still want you to manually give them more They want more. Having that on there truly has not made much of a difference for me, and I think that's the general consensus among Poshmark sellers. It's even better when you don't have that on and you can offer a personal discount. Perhaps you don't want to offer the blanket discount across all items. Perhaps you could do even better than that. Keeping yourself in control of bundle discounts is a great way to make your buyers happy and to keep you in charge of your profit. The next thing is not to be too romantic about comps. Do not stress yourself out with continual comp research. A lot of Poshmark users are not pro resellers. They're regular people using Poshmark to clear out their closet. They will always be able to price their items lower than you. They don't have invested what you do in them as far as the time and resources and the business expenses and taxes. There'll always be a bin shopper similarly that can just price lower. So don't worry about that. Just worry about enhancing your listings, photos, descriptions, and that frequent activity. And finally is to remember that your time is valuable. You should probably consider at some point, once you've grown a little, making a minimum price. Like if an item can't sell for at least 20, yielding at least 16, then it's not worth your time. There is no such thing as free inventory, because even when your cost of goods is zero, the time and resources that you expend preparing, photographing, listing, cross-listing, delisting, relisting, sharing, answering questions, responding to offers, and shipping, all of that is time. All of that is money, because time is money. Not all items are worth it. It's tough to sell lower valued items alone on Poshmark. If you sell an item for $10, you'll make around $7, and the buyer will pay nearly $20 with shipping. That can be tough. So establishing firmer boundaries to that types of items that are worth your time will allow you for more consistent sales and business growth. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me your Poshmark pricing strategy and any tips and tricks that you have to make more sales on Poshmark. I'll see you next time, reseller friends. Happy poshing!